Damn.
Hi everybody, clean face. I do have some primer on and some chapstick. Today I'm going to be using this matte and poreless. I think it's Maybelline. I'll put everything down below. But I'm going to be outside and it's about 100 degrees here, and it will cut down on any oiliness that tries to come out. My face is usually pretty dry, so first I went in with a lighter shade, and now I'm going to do a darker shade. But the darker shade is a different brand. It's Urban Decay, but it's also pretty matte. And I'm just dotting them all over my face. You just put them wherever you think you need and as much coverage as you're wanting. Then I'll take this Real Techniques brush and swirl it all around to bring the two colors together. Don't forget to go down your neck and around your ears. And also don't forget to get your eyelids and all around your eye. And push it into your hairline. You can clean that up later with like a makeup wipe or a baby wipe. For concealer, I'm going to have the Born This Way in, I think it's Nude. Put it in between my eyes, down my nose, around my nostrils, on top of my lip, underneath my eyes, on my chin, and right below where I'm going to want to put my contour. Just brings out your cheekbones a little more. And then I will take a sponge and blend everything. My eyes will be last so that they don't have time to crease. Just make sure you're trying to stay in a straight line with that and pull it down instead of up. I'm going to use this brush to get right underneath my nostrils. I just feel like it really gets in that crease and helps me blend, but then I will go back to the sponge. Be sure to get clear up into the corner. A lot of people have darkness there, and all the way up to the eyeball so you don't have a red ring in between your eyeball and your concealer. And just be sure to blend everything to the best to your ability. I'm taking that brush that I used for my foundation, and if I just feel like the concealer got a little harsh in a few places, I just help blend it all together. And if I feel like my concealer is a little too light in some areas, that helps also. Then I'll use the Maybelline FitMe powder and I can't think of the word, tapered brush. And the first place I'm going to hit is right underneath my eyes, so again, the concealer doesn't have time to crease. I will then go over all of the areas on my face that I put concealer to set that. And most days it's just a light dusting, but I knew that I was going to be out in the heat pretty much all evening, and so I'm going to set everything pretty good. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Covergirl in number 105 and this big fluffy brush. And I don't do this on the daily, like I said, it's just because of the heat. I crease, especially around my smile lines and my mouth, and so you'll see that I'll pay special attention to that area. I'll take a smaller brush and just use that Maybelline FitMe powder again and get my eyelids so that they don't become oily and they're easier to put shadow on. I'm going to use the e.l.f. and it's a duo with the blush and the bronzer. And this tapered larger brush, and I'm going to hit the top of my cheekbones, not going below my ear because I want to keep those cheekbones high. I also go up my temples and on the sides of my forehead. And right at the tip of my chin and right underneath it to help conceal any extra skin or anything else you got going under there, and then right underneath the jawline to make it appear like a sharper jaw. Then I'll use the NARS bronzer in Casino just to do a little bit of a stronger contour. If you already have pretty defined cheekbones, you probably don't have to go through all this work unless you just really like to. But I like to have mine more defined. I will blend it out. It won't be this defined, but this is the starting point. And there we are with the tapered brush I used to set my concealer, just blending it all so I don't have any harsh lines. This is the Wet n Wild highlighter, and I will be using a fan brush with it. And I'll hit the top of my cheekbones and go around my eye socket like in a C, going a little up my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on the top of my lip, and on the right underneath my eyebrows. I don't know what kind of blush this is because it's pretty broken apart. That's why my face was like that, but I'm going to use an angled brush and put it on top of my cheeks and across to my nose. This is the Buxom lip gloss. It's the plumping, so it does tingle a little bit, but I don't like much color on my lips, but I needed a little something, and I don't like to put very much on either, so I usually just hit the top of my lip and the middle and rub them together. This is the Naked eyeshadow palette. I did forget to contour my nose, so I just used the brown in it to go down the sides of my nose. So I'm just hitting my crease with the same brown color, just very lightly blending it. Then I took a lighter color in the palette and I'm putting it in the corner and halfway in the middle of my lid, or half to the middle of my lid and up to the crease. And it doesn't really, there's no specific brushes that I use on a daily basis. It's just whatever I pick up and whatever will work. Then in the Carly Bible palette, I'm going to use a darker brown to hit the outside corners of my eyes. So going from the middle of my eyelid where I stopped the white out. And I like to do it in an angled up. And then I just go above my crease a little bit and blend those two browns together. if you bring I feel like if you don't angle up your eyeshadow at the end and you just bring it down, it makes your eyes look droopy, and I like the more pulled up eye. So don't forget to dust off any excess that falls down. And then here I'm spraying the Urban Decay All Nighter. When it comes to eyebrows, I use a spoolie to brush them all up to see where I need to fill in. And then I try to go pretty light in the beginning and then get darker, at the front of the brow, and then go darker as we go down. After I fill it in once, I brush it all up again to see if there's any areas I missed, which you can still see kind of through my eyebrow, so it needs a little more product in it. And then after I get both of them done, sometimes it gets too dark, and especially since I'm going to be sweating, I take a little bit of that powder and use that same brush and just dab it on there to make sure they don't smudge, and also it lightens it up a little bit, especially in the front of the brow. This is the STILA eyeliner with a felt tip. I just do a very thin line across my whole eyelid and then go up into a tiny wing at the end. There's the finished product with that. And then I'm going to use this Covergirl eyeliner. And I'm going to tight line my eye, which means getting up underneath my eyelashes to make my eyelash band look thicker. It's not the most comfortable thing, and I look a little crazy, but it works. I have to use waterproof mascara because I have an eye that waters, but this formula is a wetter one, so I put it down first. And I don't have that long of eyelashes right now because I had eyelash extensions, and those leave you with not very many. And then I will follow it up with this CoverGirl, and it's a drier formula, and I put it over it, and I just think it makes them look thicker and longer as much as they possibly can, and then hit the bottom lashes. Then I'll use a light brown pencil and do the lower lash line just to the middle of my eye. And done. So on to my hair. I'm going to use this, I think it's Batiste dry shampoo. And I have really thin hair that gets pretty oily pretty quick. And so I use a good amount all over. I have to do this pretty much every day if I don't want to wash my hair. And then just making sure you scrub it into your head really good. Then I section it off, and I use the Hot Tools. I think this is the 1-inch curling iron. And you want to make sure your hair is brushed out so you don't have any rats. And then I pull sections about this size all over my head. And this first one will be a curl away from my face. And I don't put the end of my hair in it, and I don't hold it on there very long, and I just pull down and then pull the curl down when I'm done. This curl will go towards my face. And I don't do this all over my head, and if I remember, I'll do it, but it's supposed to help, make your hair look thicker and have more volume, and so when I do it, I can. And then the rest of them will be away from my face. You always want to do away from your face when you're right next to your face. And again, just pull it down. And I haven't figured out anything good to do with these little hairs by my ears, and so I just do a little curl under, and then I take that same brush and I grab a section of my hair and I'm gonna tease it. Just as much teasing as you want. That's how I get my volume at the end, is just to tease every section. And then same thing on the other side. I'm doing a curl away from my face and pulling it down, pulling the curl down. And then just giving this one a little curl under. Grab the brush and do as much teasing as you want. I don't use any product in my hair, and I very rarely use any hairspray at the end. So you just pull down sections as you want. I'll show you each section I pull down, but the same thing, I'll just grab the same size sections, and I think for the majority of this, I'm just curling away from my face, not getting the end, pulling down. And then when I get done with each section, teasing it and moving on. On to the other side, and same thing, just pulling down the sections that you want. Okay, and now we're to the top. So same thing all over. I got the back, I got the sides, and now I'm just finding out what areas of my hair I need to give another curl to. Maybe I missed it, maybe it didn't hold like I wanted it to, or maybe it's not going the right direction. So same thing, separating any curls that are maybe stuck together and trying to give it as much volume as I can. And this side of my hair needs separated, so just running my hair through it, not real forcefully, pretty lightly, putting everything in place. And I like my bangs to be down a little more, so you can just give them a little pull. And there you go. And then sometimes I like to tuck it behind my ear, and there that is. Thanks, guys.